Samesana Shiva, Samesana Shiva Shambho. Hey Shiva Shankara, hey Shiva Shankara, hey Shiva Shankara Hare Shambho. Hey Shiva Shankara, hey Shiva Shankara, hey Shiva Shankara Hare Shambho. Samesana Shiva, Samesana Shiva, Samesana Shiva Hare Shambho. Samesana Shiva, Samesana Shiva, Samesana Shiva Hare Shambho. Samesana Shiva Hare Shambho. Samesana Shiva Hare Shambho.
Hey Shiva Shankar Namami Shankar Shiva Shankar Shambho. Hey Shiva Shankar Namami Shankar Shiva Shankar Shambho. Hey Girijapati Pavani Shankar, Hey Girijapati Pavani Shankar Shiva Shankar Shambho. 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 Hey Shiva Shankar Namami Shankar Shiva Shankar Shambho. Hey Shiva Shankar Namami Shankar Shiva Shankar Shambho. Hey Girijapati Pavani Shankar, Hey Girijapati Pavani Shankar Shiva Shankar Shambho. 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 Hey Shiva Shankar Namami Shankar Shiva Shankar Shambho. Hey Shiva Shankar Namami Shankar Shiva Shankar Shambho. Shiva Shankar Shambho.
शंकर 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 शंभो शंकरनाथ शंकर 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 शंभो शंकरनाथ शंकर 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 शंभो शंकरनाथ शिव शंभो हरे शंभो शिव 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 शंभो शिव शंभो हरे शंभो शिव 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 शंभो शिव शिव शंभो हरे शंभो शिव शंभो हरे शंभो शंभो शंकर महेश्वर शंभो शंकर महेश्वर शंकर 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 शंभो शंकरनाथ शंकर 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 शंभो शंकरनाथ त्रिशूल नारी त्रिनेत्र नारी त्रिशूल नारी त्रिनेत्र नारी शिव शंभो हरे शंभो शिव शंभो हरे शंभो शंभो शंकर महेश्वर शंभो शंकर महेश्वर शंकर 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 शंभो शंकरनाथ शंकर 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 शंभो शंकरनाथ शंभो शंकरनाथ शंभो शंकरनाथ
बोले मापति महादेव की जय। नमः पार्वती पतये। हर 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 महादेव। बोले शंकर भगवान की जय। शिवजी चालीसा। जय गणेश गिरिजा सुवन मंगल मूल सुजान कहत अयोध्या दास तुम देहूं अभय वरदान। जय गिरिजापति दीन दयाल सदा करत संतन प्रतिपाल। जय गिरिजापति दीन दयाला सदा करत संतन प्रतिपाला भाल चंद्रमा सोहत नीके कानन कुंडल नाग फणी के अंग गौर सिर गंग बहाए मुंद माल तन छार लगावे वस्त्र खाल बाघंबर सोहे छवि को देख नाग मुनि मोहे मैना मातु की हवे दुलारी वाम अंग सोहत छवि न्यारी कर त्रिशूल सोहत छवि भारी करत सदा शत्रुन छयकारी नंदी गणेश सोहे तह कैसे सागर मध्य कमल है जैसे काटिक श्याम और घन राम या छवि को कहीं जात न काहू देवन जब ही जाए पुकारा तब ही दुख प्रभु आप निवारा किया उपद्रव तारक भारी देवन सब मिल तुम ही जुहारी तुरत शरणन आप पधारो लव निमेष मह मार गिरायो आप जलंधर असुर संहारे तुरस तुम्हार विदित संसारे त्रिपुरासुर सन युद्ध मछाई सब ही कृपा कर लीन बछाई किया तपहि भागीरथ भाई पूरब प्रतिज्ञातास पुरारी दान नमः तुम सम को नाई सेवक स्तुति करत सदाही वेद नाम महिमा तब गाई अकत अनादि भेद नहीं पाई प्रगत उदधि मंथन में ज्वाला जरे सुरासुर बहे बिहाला किन्ह दया तह करहु तुम्हारी नीलकंठ तब नाम कहाई पूजन रामचंद्र जब कीन्हा जीत के लंक विभीषण दीन्हा सहस कमल में हो रहे धारी कीन्ह परीक्षा तब ही पुरारी एक कमल प्रभु राखे उजोई कमल नयन पूरण छह सोई कतिन भक्ति देखी प्रभु शंकर भये प्रसन्न दिए चितवर जय 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 अनंत अविनाशी करत कृपा सब के घतवासी दुष्ट सकल नित मोहि सतावे भ्रमत रहे मोहि चैन नावे त्राहि त्राहि मैं नाथ पुकारू यही अवसर मोहियान उबारो लय त्रिशूल शत्रुन को मारो संकट से मोहियान उबारो मात पिता भ्राता सब कोई संकट में पूछत नहीं कोई, स्वामी एक है आस तुम्हारी। आय हरहूँ अब संकट भारी, धन निर्धन को देत सदाई। जो कोई जाचे सो फल पाहि, स्तुति के ही विधि करहु तुम्हारी। क्षमहु नाथ अब छूक हमारी, शंकर हो संकट के नाशन। मंगल कारण विघ्न विनाशन, योगी यति मुनि ध्यान लगावे। नारद सारद शीस नवावे, नमो नमो जय नमः शिवाय। सुर ब्रह्मादिक पार न पाया, जो यह पात करे मन लाई। तापर होत है शंभु सहाई, ऋनिया जो कोई हो अधिकारी। पात करे सो पावन हारी, पुत्रहीन इच्छा कर होई। निश्चय शिव प्रसाद ते होई, पंडित त्रयोदशी को लावे। ध्यान पूर्वक होम करावे, त्रयोदशी व्रत करे हमेशा। तन नहीं ताके रहे कलेशा, धूप दीप नैवेद चढ़ावे। शंकर सन्मुख पाथ नसावे, जन्म जन्म के पाप नसावे। अंतवास शिवपुर में पावे, कहे अयोध्या आस तुम्हारी। जानी सकल दुख हर हो हमारी, जानी सकल दुख हर हो हमारी। जानी सकल दुख हर हो हमारी। निश्चय नित्य नेम कर प्रात ही, पात करो 40। तुम मेरी मनोकामना पूर्ण कीन कल्याण। बोले देवों के देव महादेव की जय। Rudrashtakam. We chant the Rudrashtakam for Bhagwan Mahadev. This is a beautiful, powerful Sanskrit chanting to Lord Shiva, written in Tulsidas' Ramayana. Tulsidas' Ramayana, the language is called Avadhi, which is the language of the simple people. Because as we know, Tulsidas wanted this great work of Bhagwan Ram. Because Bhagwan Ram is incarnation of Bhagwan Vishnu. He wanted this great work of Bhagwan Ram not to be limited to the scholars alone. Because there was a time, and even to this time, Sanskrit is only understood by a few people. So Tulsidas ji took the very difficult, the very challenging, but the very pure and beautiful language of Sanskrit. He took excerpts of the Valmiki Ramayana, and he gave us Tulsikrit Ramayana. Tulsikrit Ramayana. And in this Tulsikrit Ramayana, although he gave us the simple, beautiful Avadhi language, which is the language of the common man, he also maintained the work of Valmiki. That is the language of Sanskrit. The word Sanskrit means pure. Sanskrit means pure. Why is Sanskrit the pure language? Many reasons. Let's look at English, because this is something every one of us know. English, well, we think we know. It doesn't make sense for a lot of people. The word enough, E-N-O-U-G-H, enough. The sound ends with F, enough, but it spells G-H at the end. Yet, if you begin with the word fight, you cannot put G-H-I-H-T. You have to put F-I-G-H-T. Fight. Right? Doesn't make sense. And many things about the English language. You have to muscle memory it in order for it to make sense. That's how it is. Sanskrit, there is only one way to spell a sound. There's only one way to spell a sound, a particular song. There is only one way to spell it. There is no other way. The word F has a spelling, and the meaning as well, there's only one meaning to it. It's a pure language. What else is so pure about it is because the sound of Sanskrit isn't meant for us to understand, right? Like we do the Rudram, it isn't meant for you to understand. It's meant for you to take away. It's meant for you to energize you. And Sanskrit, it means pure because the energy is a pure energy. You can have a chanting done or a song done, but when you leave, your tamasic intoxication. But with Sanskrit, when it is done properly, it gives you a sattvic intoxication, a pure intoxication. You're at a different level because the energy is pure, right? Energy is pure. So that is why Tulsidas ji maintained in his Avadi Ramayana, he maintains Sanskrit because of its purity. Today, we also maintain in the temples, in this temple at least, we maintain the power of the Sanskrit language because Sanskrit is Deva Bhasha. Sanskrit is Deva Bhasha. It means it's a language of the Devatas. Sanskrit is Veda Bhasha. It means it's a language of the Veda. Deva Bhasha and Veda Bhasha. That is why when we are chanting prayers, we do not chant in English. We chant, and this you can say Bhagwan understands all language. That's very so. But it doesn't matter which part of the world you go to. If you go to Africa, you go to Guyana, you go to Trinidad, you go to whichever part, they will speak in a different language. But when it is time to chant the Vedas, there is only one way to do that. Only one way to do that. And that is Veda Bhasha, Sanskrit. One way. And that is because we make a connection with Vedas, and we make a connection with the Devas. When you speak a person's language, you make a bigger connection with them. We sing their language. The Rudrashtakam is written in Sanskrit. Tulsidas is a scholar. He's not just a man in a cave, he's a scholar. I've always told anyone who wants to learn the Hindu Dharma, the worst way to learn about religion is in the schools. The worst way to learn about it is in the schools. I'll tell you that because everyone knows that. You go to school, they teach you the Western understanding. You just have to cringe as a Hindu and do the course. You just have to cringe and listen to them talk about Mukti and the goals of a Hindu and all that. You just have to do it to get the mark. But the real way of learning the depth of Hinduism is to experience it. It's in the temples, it's from the gurus, it is from those who have sought and who have attained enlightenment. And this is environment. Because here, Hinduism is not a subject. Sanatan Dharma is not a subject. Sanatan Dharma is a way of our life. And we can only understand something best when we live it. Let us pray to Bhagwan Shiv this evening. Namami Shamishan Nirvana Rupam. Nirvana. What does Nirvana mean? Or in which religion is Nirvana the goal? Let me ask a question though. In Hinduism, what is the highest goal for a Hindu? What is it called? It starts with M. It's called Mukti or Moksha. If anyone should ask you what is the goal of a Hindu, they will not teach you this in school because this is not in their academics, but this is in the books of the Hindu. Our goal as a Hindu is to attain Mukti. That is the highest goal, Mukti. After Mukti or emancipation or freedom, there is nothing else. Beyond Mukti, there is nothing else. But there is also Nirvana. What is which religion have they taught you in school? Or at least we know in the West. The highest point of achievement is called Nirvana. Which religion? Buddhism. In Buddhism, Nirvana, their goal is to attain Nirvana. What is Nirvana? Means enlightenment. The trouble with enlightenment is that when you become enlightened, you can become disenlightened back again. Because what is enlightenment? Enlightenment is that an experience I felt so enlightened. If you're felt enlightened and it is just a glimpse of an experience, that enlightenment, that nirvana will fail and fade out back into anirvana, non-enlightenment. It's a good thing to attain nirvana, there's nothing wrong with it. But when you attain mukti, freedom, you're free. Bhagwan Shiva is Nirvana Rupam. He is the form of Nirvana, which means he's a form of enlightenment. For every experience, we have a God. I don't know about anyone else, but my God is Shiva, and he is the God of everything. Rudrasya Moolasya, you know what it says in the Vedas? I've quoted this verse to you how many times during Shravan? Shivji is the root of creation. He's not the fruit of creation, he's not the leaf of creation, he's not the limb of creation, he's the root of creation. And when we water a plant, we do not water the leaves or the fruits. We do not worship the fruits or the leaves. We throw the water on the root. Then the plant will grow and we will reap the fruits. In life, we should never worship the fruits of our karmas. Do not worship the fruits of life. Worship the root of life. Every Hindu young family that I meet, I've always encouraged them to mold your children to learn the roots of their culture. When you can understand the roots of your culture, what are the roots, the very roots that hold up this tree called Sanatan Dharma? The roots. What are the roots of a Hindu? Satya, Daya, Tapa, Saucham. Bhagavatam tells us this. The root of our culture, the root of our tradition, the root of our dharma, Satya. Satya means truthfulness. There are 4 things only, you can't forget this. Satya means truthfulness. 1. Daya, compassion. Tapa, prayerful. Saucham, cleanliness. If we take these 4, roots and we just water it every day, Satya, Daya, Tapa, Saucham. Right? You may not understand the roots of a big tree when you look at it. Here, the kids don't see that thing called roots. Back home in Guyana, the roots of a tree are so big that it grows above the land. If you go to a place called Kovanjan back home, y'all ever went to Kovanjan? Devika, you know Kovanjan? Okay. You from there? No, but you pass by there. You know the tree at the middle of the road? The tree, so you know Kovanjan? Good, yeah. Vidya, you know Kovanjan? Grandma, you know Kovanjan? Yeah, good. Tyler, you don't know Kovanjan. Cove and John. Kovanjan, the mid of the road, there was a tree. All of us know that. It's a highlight of Guyana. They have all kinds of stories that people try to cut it down and they die while doing it. And I don't know. Maybe they were taking an axe and chopping it down and their heart was not strong, just like people that shovel snow hay and they get heart attack. So maybe people were trying to chop it down with an axe and they got heart attack and like that. I don't know what the case is. But that tree is so big and the roots are so big that the roots grew beyond the earth and the roots came up like this. You can see the roots from above the land. One of the reasons why it's so powerful, it has strong roots. Strong roots. And many trees in the forest you can see, they're so strong because their roots are so strong. Roots are so strong. But in the garden, you plant a little flower, and what happened? Something happened, too much sun, too much rain, it dies because the roots are very weak. They're planted just a little below the surface of the earth. The roots are not so strong, they'll die quickly. When our roots are strong as a Hindu or as a human being, we will always survive and we will do so smilingly. So what are the roots of the Hinduism? Satya, Daya, Tapaha, Saucham. What are these four fruits of life? Satya means truthfulness. It means speaking the truth, living the truth, reflecting the truth. Satya barabar tap nahi, jhoot barabar paap. Jaake hriday satya hai, vaake hriday aap. There is no greater virtue than speaking the truth, and there is no sin worse than speaking the lie. Wherever in whose heart there is truth, vaake hriday aap. The Lord will forever live in the heart of those who are truthful. There are some of us who only speak the truth when it is convenient to hurt somebody. I have news for you as well. Satyam bhruyat priyam bhruyat na bhruyat satyam apriya. Pandit ji Sanskrit jante hai. Pandit Rajneesh knows Sanskrit. Pandit ji. Satyam bhruyat priyam bhruyat na bhruyat satyam apriya. If you're going to speak the truth to hurt somebody, don't speak the truth. Satyam bhruyat. What the Vedas is a Vedic verse, by the way, and Manusmriti as well. Satyam bhruyat, speak the truth, but speak the truth priyam bhruyat. Speak the truth lovingly. Lovingly. Na bhruyat, bhruyat means in Sanskrit to speak. Na bhruyat, don't speak the truth if satyam apriya. Apriya means with hate. Don't speak the truth with hate. Do you understand that? Don't speak the truth with hate. Why? Because when you speak the truth with hate, the word Satya is God itself. Satyam Shivam Sundaram. The Lord's name is Satyam. Satya Narayana. Satyam Shivam Sundaram. The Lord's name is Satya. When you speak the truth with hate, right, you're associating truth with hate. And truth stands as a pure element of your life. It should not be mixed with hate. It cannot be mixed with hate. So Satyam Bhruyat, Priyam Bhruyat. Truth must always be mixed with love. Speak the truth. Even if you have to tell somebody something that it may not be so nice, speak it with love. Satyam Bhruyat. Priyam Bhruyat. Speak it with love. Don't speak it to hurt people. So the first root of a Hindu, what are it? It's called Satyam, Daya, compassion. Animals are compassionate to people. The wild beings are compassionate to people. Nature is compassionate to people. Why can't a human being be compassionate to another human being? We must be compassionate to people and to all forms of creature. That is daya. Tapa means to melt. It means to pray. It means to fast. It means to do tapasya. A little puja here and there is not sufficient. You have to melt. You have to go into some sort of sadhana. When you finish, you know that you have done some workout and have burned some calories. It must reflect in you physically. It must reflect in you mentally. It must reflect in you emotionally. It must reflect in you spiritually. That is called tapasya. Tapasya means to transform from an object that is not so pleasant into something that is so beautiful. That is called satyadaya tapa. And the last one is called saucham. Saucham means cleanliness. Cleanliness in all forms of your environment, of your body, of your thoughts, of your speech. Because when you have watered the 3 roots already, truthfulness, compassionate, and prayerfulness, then what will be the result? Cleanliness becomes the output. Saucham is a quality of every human being, but is a root of the Hindus. Please maintain cleanliness of your mind, your heart, your atma, your body, your surroundings, yourself. Maintain cleanliness at all times. It's very important. As we chant this Rudrashtakam, may Bhagwan Shivji purify all of you, and may you, of course, aspire every day to be kind and compassionate. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Vibhum Vyapakam Brahmaveda Swarupam. Vibhum Vyapakam Brahmaveda Swarupam. Namami Shamisha, Namami Shamisha, Nirvana Rupam, Vibhum Vyapakam Brahmaveda Swarupam, Vibhum Vyapakam Brahmaveda Swarupam, Nijam Nirgunam Nirvikalpam Niriham, Chidakashva Kashva Sambhajeham, Chidakashva Kashva Sambhajeham, Nirakar Moolam Turiyam, Gira Gyan Gotitamisham Girisham, Karalam Mahakal Kalam Kripalam, Gunagar Sansar Param Natoham, Gunagar Sansar Param Natoham, Tusharadrisham Kash Gauram Gabhiram, Manobhut Koti Prabhasri Sariram, Sfuran Maulikalolini Charuganga, Lasat Bhal Bhale Dukante Bhujanga, Chalat Kundalam Bhru सुनेत्रं विशालं प्रसन्नाननं नीलकण्ठं दयालं प्रसन्नाननं नीलकण्ठं दयालं मृगादीशचर्माम्बरं मुन्दमालं प्रियं शङ्करं सर्वनाथं भजामि प्रियं शङ्करं सर्वनाथं भजामि प्रचण्डं प्रकृष्टं प्रगल्भं परेशम् अखण्डम् अजं भानुकोटिप्रकाशं त्रयाशूलनिर्मूलनं शूलपाणिं भजेऽहं भवानीं पतिं भावगम्यं भजेऽहं भवानीं पतिं भावगम्यम् कलातीत कल्याण कल्पांतकारी सदा सज्जनानंद दाता पुरारी चिदानंद संदोह मोहपहारी प्रसीद प्रसीद प्रभु मन्मतारी नयावद उमानाथ पादारविन्दं भजन्ति हलोके परे वानराणं भजन्ति हलोके परे वानराणं न तावत् सुखं शान्ति सन्तापनाशं प्रसीद प्रभो सर्वभूतादिवासं प्रसीद प्रभो सर्वभूतादिवासं न जानामि योगं जपं नैव पूजां न तोऽहं सदा सर्वदा सम्भुतोऽभ्यं जरा जन्म दुःखो घ्यतातप्यमानं प्रभु पाहि आपन्नमामीश शम्भो प्रभु पाहि आपन्नमामीश शम्भो ॐ नमः शिवाय 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 बोले मापति महादेव की जय नमः पार्वती पतये हर 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 महादेव की जय देवों की देव महादेव की जय. On this blessed Monday evening, we bring you Shivji Bhagwan's puja into your homes and hope that all of you are well, you're happy, and you're in bliss. Shiv Puja is nothing strange to Hindus. It is the most ancient way of adoring and the most connective way of praying to God. What makes Shiv Puja so beautiful is the connection we make with Him. People like to feel and touch. That is our nature. We like to, before we buy something, most people, the online experience is great for some things. It's great for many things actually. But for most things there, you want to have the feel and touch of it, the look of it, right? You want to make sure that it feels right, it touches right, it suits your environment, whatever it is. You make a connection with it, because most part you're going to be living with that for the rest of your life. We've extended that to worship, where we feel connected a lot. When we can feel and touch, and we can wash, and we can dry, and we can decorate, the whole works. Shivji Puja is like that. What do? You do Lingashtakam, Brahma Murari Surachita Lingam, Nirmala Bhashita Shobhita Lingam. We offer milk and all these things to the Lord, bathe him nicely. Rambha Palampanakam, take banana and give him nice fruits and bath, honey. And in the process of doing that, we're feeling and touching. We're making a physical connection with God. Physical connection with God. When you have a physical connection with something, it is a deeper connection. A deeper, very, very deep connection. Right? When you have a physical connection with someone, it's a very intimate relationship. When that relationship is physical. Very intimate. We extend that intimacy to our God. We extend that to our Bhagwan, because the purpose of touching and feeling and becoming intimate with God is to become detached from all the things we have miraculously being attached to that are keeping us away from the divine. You can only be attached to Him if you're detached from the things of life. I'm not saying it is wrong to be attached to your mother and father, brother, sister, things. I'm not saying it's wrong. It is there for you. It is a toy, it is tools given to you for living. Everyone that is given to us, they are given for a purpose, to enlighten or to enhance our life in some way, whatever way that is. But the purpose of this physical association with God is to build an intimacy, to be attached to Him or her in a unique, in a sattvic, in a pure way, right? In a very, very pure way. When the Hindus, we have taught the world how to eat with our hands. We have taught I don't know about you, but when I eat with my hands, I am more intimate with my food, right? When you eat with your hands, you touch it. The senses of your fingers are there. You touch it, you eat it. It's like you're eating with your senses. You enjoy your food more when you eat with your hands. But then your hands must be clean as well. So we are always taught to keep clean hands. That type of intimacy we must have with Bhagwan. And that is why in the Hindu context of puja, we have Abhishekam, the bathing ceremony. We have Alankaram, the dressing of the Lord. We bathe the Lord and then we dress the Lord. Alankaram. We dress the Lord. We put beautiful things or simple things because Shivji by himself is so beautiful. He's Sundaram. He's Sundareshwar in the Meenakshi temple in India, which we must visit sometime. It's beautiful architecture. Meenakshi Devi, we've done all her Alankar here. He's called Sundareshwar in that temple. The Lord, the handsome, the beautiful one, Sundareshwar, right? And she's called Meenakshi, the Lord, the mother who has the eyes resembling a fish, Meenakshi. He's Sundareshwar, so he is already beautiful, he's already good looking, already handsome. He does not need a lot to make him anymore. But what happens? We become content and pleased when we, just like a child dressing up a doll at the end, they comb their hair and they feel so happy. A devotee becomes so attached to God when they bathe the Lord, dry the body of the Lord, do alankaram, beautiful decoration. Then what do? We do archana to the Lord. Archanam means taking the petals and calling the name of the Lord and showering the Lord with those petals. As we shower praises on people and recognition on people in life, we shower, archana on the Lord. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. It builds, then you feed the Lord, prasadam. Then all these things, you build an intimate relationship with Bhagwan. an intimate relationship with God. And which puja the most teaches us to do that? Shivji Puja. Shiv Puja with our Lingam. Every home has a Lingam, I suppose. Every Hindu home have many Lingams, different kinds of Lingams and so on. Don't worry when people tell you can't get more than one Lingam and all that kind of thing. I have very, very good responses for those things. I think the more your demons, the more should be your God. The more your demons, the more should be your God, right? And you know I'm very blunt about these things because we have to be blunt about this Dharma. If you're not blunt, sometimes people think that everything is okay, right? I find it interesting that people can ask Panditji how many lingam that we can have in our home when at the bar you have so many different contexts of alcohol, different types of gallons of bottle, big bottle, little bottle, small bottle, all different blends. So many demons you can store at that bar, but you only can have one lingam in your home. It's never wrong to have too many God in your life. Whether we believe, I'm talking about forms, no? We know there's one God and thing, and that God is a Hindu God. But it's never wrong to have that in your life. The Lingam has taught us to become intimate with Bhagwan. The Lingam has taught us to become, if you have to be attached to something or someone, be attached to an object of the Lord. And when we are attached to that object, like the Shiva Lingam, what happens? Then we pour that love into the Lingam that we pour, that sincerity, that affection that we give God, we extend that as well, or we should extend that as well to everyone we meet. Remember the sprinkling idea that I give you? If you spend an hour at your altar, 15 minutes at your altar, 10 minutes at your altar in the morning, and you admire the Lord and you give God your love and you tell God how much you love the Lord and you're quiet and you're simple, take that 10 minutes and sprinkle it for the rest of 23 hours of your day. Everyone you see, love them. Sprinkle compassion on everyone. Admire them as you've admired God in a blissful way, in a truthful way, and see how life becomes blissful. This is the essence of Shivji Puja, for us to become one with Him and for us to engage in a process called tapasya, to be attached to Him and, of course, to live among everything else, but just enjoy the experience. That is what the Lord wants, for us to enjoy the experience and not be too confused about the real goal of life. I'd like to sincerely thank all of you for being here, the devotees who are here in the temple and online as well. And I want to end this evening by singing a kirtan to the Lord and asking His blessings on all of you. जय शिव शंकर नमामि शंकर शिव शंकर शंभो जय शिव शंकर नमामि शंकर शिव शंकर शंभो जय शिव शंकर नमामि शंकर शिव शंकर शंभो जय गिरिजापति भवानी शंकर शिव शंकर शंभो जय गिरिजापति भवानी शंकर शिव शंकर शंभो जय शिव शंकर नमामि शंकर शिव शंकर शंभो जय शिव शंकर नमामि शंकर शिव शंकर शंभो हे शिव शंकर शशांक शेखर शिव शंकर शंभो हे शिव शंकर शशांक शेखर शिव शंकर शंभो जय शिव शंकर नमामि शंकर शिव शंकर शंभो जय शिव शंकर नमामि शंकर शिव शंकर शंभो हे शिव शंकर भवानी शंकर शिव शंकर शंभो हे शिव शंकर भवानी शंकर शिव शंकर शंभो हे शिव शंकर नमामि शंकर शिव शंकर शंभो हे शिव शंकर नमामि शंकर शिव शंकर शंभो ओम नमः शिवाय 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 बोलो ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय बोलो ओम नमः शिवाय 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 उमापति महादेव की Before I close, I'd be remiss if I did not say thank you to everyone for your help and your participation in our gala last night. Last night was a very, very beautiful event for us. An event that we worked very, very hard, extremely hard to make it happen. And I have to tell you from the bottom of my heart, thank you, thank you, thank you. We should give a big round of applause for everybody who made that happen. It was a lot of hard work by the volunteers, a lot of hard work by the children of this temple. The children of this temple, I don't know what to do to praise them, because the sacrifice they make for this culture, for this temple, is unparalleled. Right? Unparalleled. A lot of us think that, and I always say this, I'll say it again, we always think that a bright child is someone who is not associated with culture or religion or temple. And like the reverse, we always think that a temple child cannot be bright. That's the thinking of our people. But that is so incorrect. It is false. The children of this temple are hard workers. They are good kids. They are good performing kids in school. They ascend to academic excellence, and they still embrace their culture. Last night, performance by all the children on the stage. And the performance was done only by children of the temple, no one else. The performance really, I was shocked. And I mean, I was not shocked, but I was in awe when I saw their performances, because the dances were just class, the singing, the whole display of the show. For 3 hours the program went on, and people sat down. It was not people walking around saying hi to everyone. People sat down for 3 hours and watched that program. And I did as well. I was just mesmerized by the amazing performances by our kids. I'm so thankful for all of them. Thank you to all the parents who broke all barriers to make sure that this program happened. Those who were there, everybody who left there, it was flawless. The program was just flawless. It's all on YouTube at our Bhavani Shankar Mandir channel. Watch it. We have also recorded separately the items, so we will make small videos, clippings to make sure if you want to watch that particular item, it's there. But it's so beautiful. The money aspect is always there, but last night was not about the money for me. I went in there last night with the team and I said, listen, if God bless us with 50,000, we'll take 50, 75, whatever it is, we'll take that. My whole idea, our whole idea was to bring the people back together. To let people know that COVID is still there. We gotta be, do things to prevent it, whatever. But the temple is back in action. Come on out, have a good time. And oh my, we did have a really good time. Really have a good time. We had great speakers. We did not have a lot of politicians. We only had one politician, our MP, Mr. Sidhu, who was there. You know, it was just beautiful. The ambience was so amazing. The program was not boring. People were so amazing. Of course, people donated money. I don't want to celebrate the funds. I want to celebrate the people. I want to celebrate unity. I want to celebrate success. Because last night, it was all about that. It was a sold-out event. Totally sold-out event. We had people at the door. We had to find ways to accommodate them and so on. But every seat in the hall last night was a good seat, because it was filled with beautiful ambience and filled with love. I want to thank all the volunteers who were there from 8 a.m. and then went home and changed and nice up and so on, and got back there at 2:30. Until last night, we left there at about 10:30. I want to thank all of you for working tirelessly as volunteers to make this happen. I know who you are. The Lord knows who you are. So thank you to all the volunteers who put aside your family commitments, your happiness, everything they put aside, and they showed up there and they did a great job. Thank you so much to all those who volunteered. I want to give a special shout out to DJ Anand. Last night I forgot to say thanks to him because there are so many people there. But he did a fabulous job providing sound for us. And he did this free, of course. He's a very popular DJ. And he did this so nicely for us. Thank you, Anand, for doing that. And to each and every volunteer who were there, you made this happen. The guys who did, the kids who did Akash and the kids who did the online streaming. Bhuwan, Akash, of course, Akash led the whole setup and the whole streaming service. So thank him for that. And then Bhuwan and Ryan and Shavin, they all worked together to make sure that we brought this program into people's home. It was just flawless and beautiful. So thank you again. And of course, we raised some funds, and that's always important. And we are very thankful for each and every one of you who donated. We thank you so much. Some people donated a lot. Some people donated whatever they can afford. Some people did not donate. I want to thank you as well, because I pray that I know your heart wanted to give, but you couldn't give. And I know that in the future you will. So thank you for thinking about us as well. But people who are pensioners, people who are single parent, everybody gave a little bit to make it happen. We're so grateful for that. And it's more motivation for us, not the money part, but the love for us to move forward. 1 week ago today, I sat right here for Kartik Purnima. I sat right here and I looked right into his face and I said, Bhole Baba, please make our event a success. 1 week ago exactly today, I said, Prabhu, make our event a success. I'd like to sit here again, Bholenath, and tell you, look in your face and tell you, thank you. Thank you for making this work for us. There isn't a thing that we have asked you for, and you did not give us. Bless all the servants of this temple. Bless their families. Bless all the children. Bless all the devotees, so that they may always prosper. That is my request. Thank you, O Lord, for fulfilling our desire to bring people together and to make our event successful. Truly grateful for all those who have come from far and near. People flew in the country for this event. People drove long distances for this event. I want to say thank you, and I acknowledge all our sponsors. I couldn't read out all the names of the people who donated because we did not have the time. But we revealed the total, and we're very, very thankful for that. God bless all of you. May you always prosper, and may Bholenath Bhagwan bless all of you in abundance. I'm truly looking forward for 2023, where we'll do fabulous things at the temple. Mahashivratri is the biggest event. It is coming early this year. Next year is a little bit confusing with the dates because we have something called Adhik Mas, an extra month. So things fall earlier and things fall later. Things in the month early part falls earlier, things in the latter part like Diwali and Navratri and so on, those are Janmashtami, they all are pushed out next year. So it's a little different here when we have Adhik Mas, but we'll be here. We have to plan Shivratri because there's going to be something that you have never seen happening here. I'm looking forward to seeing all of you for your participation as well. Let's stand for Aarti, please. Om yani kani cha papani janamantar kritani cha tani sarvani nashyantu pradakshinam pade pade. Om Har 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 Mahadev. 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 Jai Shiva Omkara. Prabhu Har Shiva Omkara. Brahma Vishnu Sada Shiv Bhole Bhalinath Mahadev Ardhangi Dhara. Om Jai Shiva Omkara. Om Har 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 Mahadev. Ekanan Chaturanan Panchanan Raje. Ho Bhole Panchanan Raje. Hansasan Garurasan. Hansasan Garurasan. Vrishvahan Saje. Om Jai Shiva Omkara. Om Har 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 Mahadev. Do bhuj char chatur bhuj 10 bhuj te sohe. Ho Bhole 10 bhuj te sohe. Teenon roop nirakhta. Teenon roop nirakhta. Tribhuvan jan mohe. Om Jai Shiva Omkara. Om Har 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 Mahadev. Akshmala बनमाला रुंदमाला धारी हो भोले रुंदमाला धारी। चंदन मृग मद सोहे चंदन मृग मद सोहे भाले शशिधारी। ओम जय शिव ओंकार ओम हर 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 महादेव। श्वेतांबर पीतांबर बाघंबर अंगे हो भोले बाघंबर अंगे। सनकादिक ब्रह्मादिक सनकादिक ब्रह्मादिक भूतादिक संगे। ओम जय शिव ओंकार ओम हर 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 महादेव। ओम हर 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 महादेव। ओम हर 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 महादेव। कर्पूर गौरम करुणावतारम संसार सारम भुजगेन्द्रहारम। सदा वसन्तं हृदयारविन्दे भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव। त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव। सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय। ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम। बोलिए श्री गणपति भगवान की, गुरु महाराज की, सूर्याधिग्रह देवता की, श्री राम भगवान की, राधा कृष्ण भगवान की, लक्ष्मी नारायण भगवान की, श्री महागंगा मैया की, यमुना मैया की, भारत माता की, गौ माता की, नवदुर्गा माता की, सूर्य नारायण स्वामी की, सत्यनारायण स्वामी की, श्री सरस्वती माता की, महालक्ष्मी माता की। जयकारा शेरवालीला बोल साचे दरबार की जय। देवों की देव आदिदेव नमः पार्वती पतये। हर 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 महादेव शंभो। सत्य सनातन धर्म की सबको जय जय सीताराम। जय सीताराम। शुभ रात्रि। See you tomorrow evening for Hanumanji Chalisa.